tonight, but a few games in the past few weeks, it's been right there. Is there just one thing that's not clicking, or just you just got to get that one big hit or make that one big pitch?
It's a great question. I think it is. I think we need to come up with that big hit, just like they did, right? Like at the end of the game, they had 2 outs. They had a base hit up the middle and then a ground ball, and just tough luck. Will Craddock. You got I got to take a minute and talk about Will Craddock. This guy plays everywhere that we need him to play, and God, does he play hard. Like, he represents this program so well, and he practices like that in pregame. I mean, every single day, first guy to the cage, practices hard, just does everything the right way, and it shows up on the field. He's a winner. But he had, tough luck on that hard hit ground ball. Lost my breath running out there thinking, oh man, I hope he's not hurt, and luckily he's going to be okay. But and then they hit the double. So they came up with the big hits when they needed it, and unfortunately we didn't. And we do. We need to come up with the big hit, and I think probably part of it is my fault. I probably talk about it too much, quite honestly. I mean, we talk about it daily. Just be aggressive with runners in scoring position. If it doesn't work out, it's okay. Just want you to go up there, swing the bat with conviction, and then we have some at bats where we take a good pitch to hit with runners on base, or we're overly aggressive and we chase some pitches out of the zone. So we just gotta find a way to relax and just enjoy the competition. I think a big part of it too is they got to understand that the pressure is on the pitcher. When you got runners on base, they got to make pitches. So and sometimes I think we try a little too much, and it just didn't work out for us tonight. And but we just got to keep getting better. That's the bottom line. Just keep working with them and keep finding ways to get better.
What can you share about your message to the guys afterwards?
Oh man, I think for me right now, there was a couple things that I brought up. One of them is we can't worry so much about the things that don't truly matter. At the end of the day, your batting average, your earned run average, your numbers, your stats. I know Kent does a heck of a job with our stats, but I told the players, I said, do not look at your stats. Like, your stats do not matter. The only person that's going to remember your career stats are you and your parents. That's about it. They do not matter. The only thing that matters is, how do you make your teammates feel? How do you make the fans feel? When they come to the field and they watch you play, what do they say about you? God, that guy plays hard. Man, he competes his rear end off. Like, those are the things that people remember. He was such a great teammate. He did everything the right way. Those are the things that ultimately are going to matter. So we got to quit worrying so much about things that don't matter. Getting hits, striking people out, those types of things. And I'm not saying that's what's happening, but I think sometimes when baseball players are inconsistent, it comes from they're worried about their numbers. And we can't worry about our numbers because nobody cares. At the end of the day, the only thing they care about is, are we winning? And we got to play winning baseball. And winning baseball is going out there and being as competitive as you freaking can be for 9 innings. That's all that matters. And that's all that needs to matter. And we don't need to worry about what people are saying about us on social media. People have jobs to do. They got to write about what we're doing. But at the end of the day, the only people that matter are the people in that locker room. And that's it. And that's what we got to focus on. Being the best teammates you can be for your other teammates, putting this team first, and competing your butts off every single day to try to help us win ball games. And if we come up short, we come up short. I'm looking for players that we can lose with. There's a big difference. When you start looking at, hey, we lost, but this freaking guy gave us everything he could give us. And if you got a bunch of guys that when things are not going well, that are doing all the right things, that's when you're going to be able to turn the tide. And that's what we got to do. We can't worry so much about our individual ups and downs. We just got to go out there and compete for each other.